Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. I'm your host for today's live stream, and my name is Connor. I hope all you guys have been doing okay throughout this downtrend that we are experiencing amidst the crypto market overall. And I don't want to waste any time today. I want to hop right into this stream and get into the content that I want to talk about. Because listen, I think it's very important to go over market psychology tips as well as just discuss where we are in the cycle, at least how I'm seeing things right now. So stick around until the very end if you were interested in hearing that. And of course, smash that like button on the way in. And let's get things started like we always do with our crypto market overview. So looking at the market overall, we are having a big red day today. Bitcoin making some fresh lows in the local time frames, essentially nearing its range lows at about 60K. I will get into this chart in just a moment's time. And we have Ethereum at $3,380. I'll also be discussing Ethereum, where I see it going both in the short term and the long term, especially with the Ethereum spot ETF coming into play on July 2nd, which is around 1 week away. But overall, yeah, altcoins getting smacked down today with Bitcoin dropping lower. And it's going to be really interesting to see how the U.S. markets open up, right? With the stock market at all-time highs. If we're going to see a sell-off on that, it could also result in higher selling pressure for the crypto market overall. But, you know, even the strongest, best performing coin, something like Pepe, is down 10% in the past 24 hours. Everything right now getting smacked down. Caspa holding 14.8. That's a key level. I'll just show you the chart very quickly with Caspa, right? This line I have at 14.8 cents, very key level. Very important for Caspa to kind of hold this as support. Otherwise, we can go ahead and retrace the entire pump. But overall, Caspa, one of the strongest coins in the market and continues to be one of my core holds for this cycle. Yes, it's still one of my core holds, meaning I think it will go higher along with many other altcoins in my portfolio. I wouldn't be holding spot altcoins if I didn't think that we were going to go higher at some point in time in the not so distant future. Okay, so this is how I'm looking at the market. I'm still a bull despite this brutal period of summertime lull that we're seeing right now in the market. Now, before I get into these charts, let's just go over the live chat. Shout out to Paul saying, hey, buddy, what's going on, Paul? Good to see you. We got Elvis saying, hi, Connor. Hope you had a good weekend. Thank you, Elvis. You as well. Good to see you here, Elvis. We got Crypto Made Me Rich with some kind of emoji. We got Chris NG saying, what's up? What's up, Chris? How are you? Calcutta said, thought for a second we weren't getting a stream this week. Oh, we're doing the stream no matter what, for sure. A little bit later today, but we're getting it done nonetheless. Mike B says, nice setup. Thank you, Mike. It's not complete yet, but we're getting there. Crypto Affiliate says, this is the topic I need right now. Yeah, let's get into this psychology. And we have Kayuza saying, hope you're doing great. Hi to all, Crypto Empire. Appreciate you, Kayuza. Good to see you here. All right, let's get into Bitcoin, and then we'll go over market psychology and what I really want to talk about. So looking at the Bitcoin price chart, currently from the all-time high at 73,800 to the current price, we are down 15.3%. And to the lows, we're down 15.88%. Now, the most important level on this chart by far and wide is the $60,000 to $61,000 level. And from the all-time high to that price, we're looking at a 17.5% pullback. And we have not made it down to this range low just yet. Now, the first thing I will address here is the fact that we have, on a smaller kind of time frame, this was a smaller time frame range low that we have now broken beneath. Okay, so now we're coming to the overall kind of bigger range that we've been in since February, down here at 60K. And this, of course, is a very, very important level to hold as support. So a lot of different takes on the market, and there's a lot of arguments from both sides, the bull side and the bear side. What I can tell you before I kind of get into these different sides and different scenarios and different ways to look at the market, what I can tell you is that this is now technically my third market cycle. All right, I did enter very late in 2017. I basically bought the exact top, okay? So if we're going to count like full market cycles from bear to bull back to bear, this is technically now my second, all right, kind of full cycle. Because again, in 2017, I just bought the top basically, and that was my introduction. But what I've learned is some obvious stuff, such as the 4-year halving cycle with Bitcoin, and that typically we see the explosive run after the halving. Okay, we did make a new all-time high before the halving, and this time was completely different. But again, that kind of crazy altcoin season bull market that we're all kind of accustomed to, and the halving happened back in April, a few months ago, 2 months ago, give or take. So that's one huge indicator that I don't think we've topped. Now, I've stated many times about the left translated cycle, basically saying that this is going to be a quicker cycle. We're going to top out quicker. Now, the longer this drawn out period goes on, the less and less likely it obviously is that we're going to have a left translated cycle. And it's looking more and more like a traditional kind of 4-year crypto cycle. But time will tell, because things can change at the drop of a dime. How do I know that? Well, we've already seen it twice so far. This bull market cycle, we've already seen it twice, and I'll just show you the total crypto market cap to demonstrate that on the weekly time frame. So things changed overnight, literally 2 times so far this cycle. The first time it changed overnight was at the beginning of October, right? This is the total crypto market cap. It was down here at $1 trillion. It was here all summer long in 2023, just range bound chopping around. If you guys were in the market over here, you would recall a lot of people saying we were going to fresh lows, saying that Bitcoin's going to go to $12,000. Well, what happened? In the blink of an eye, we started to break out and we went on a huge parabolic run where we saw the crypto market cap go from 1 trillion to 1.5 trillion in a matter of a few months, October to January. From there, we cooled off when the Bitcoin spot ETF got approved for around 2 weeks. And then again, literally, it was basically overnight. We went parabolic, right? This was over here in February. The first week of February, we exploded again, all right? And during this period, if you guys recall, it was very slow, very choppy. Same thing. A lot of people were saying we're topped out or we're going to go back lower. Bam, overnight, we explode to the upside, okay? So that's another thing that we've already seen twice so far this cycle. Conditions changed literally overnight. People went from peak fear and pessimism and arguing and fighting with each other all over the internet to happy again, and literally overnight because the market shifted. So that alone gives me some kind of hope. And it's also back testing this cycle so far, and we can see basically that, again, things can change overnight in the drop of a dime. Now let's get into some psychology from this Twitter account, a Watt Trades. So he's basically talking about this summertime lull that we're experiencing right now. He says the summer lull has happened every year, even on the most bullish years. 2017, altcoins got crushed versus Bitcoin. 2019, Bitcoin topped at 13,000 and then had a huge correction. 2020, we had the DeFi summer because everyone was risk-off majors and everything went into farming basically on PancakeSwap and Uniswap, all the DeFi plays back then. 2021, we peaked around March, April, and then we sold off really hard. And then again in kind of July, we started to explode again to the upside. Now, that was kind of an artificial pump by FTX. You can see here he stated that there was a Trabaco tweet. Sam Trabaco was the guy who worked at FTX who got away scot-free. He had that really ugly smile with like the disgusting looking teeth, if you guys recall. Anyways, 2022, we died. 2023, we chopped around 28K. I just showed you that example. So basically, summer is a good time to tactical retreat in Bitcoin ETH stables and expect less from altcoins. This is hindsight, obviously, talking. But he says here, I don't think the summer seasonality changes the way the 4-year cycle will play out. Long story short, use the summer to find the next gems. Second best use is to do cool things in real life. Now, look, I've said how I would like to see a bullish summer with the Ethereum ETF, and it can still happen. But as of right now, there's no point in trying to force anything and say, oh, we're going to have a bullish summer. Like right now, it's very, very boring. Everybody's on vacation, basically. Things most likely will pick up a bit when the Ethereum ETF hits in early July. But again, for now, this is a classic kind of summertime lull, summertime slowdown. And even with that, Bitcoin is only down around 15%. But obviously, these altcoins are down 60, 70, 80, 90% from their highs that they made earlier in the year. All right, so just understand seasonality. Understand that markets tend to always slow down in the summer. And just like last year, if you guys recall, September 2023, that's when I personally kind of flipped full bull mode, full risk on. And at that time, everybody was saying we were going to $12,000 on Bitcoin. I'll just show you. A lot of time has passed, guys. Looking at this daily time frame chart, I have to go back quite a while. But anyways, last year, last summer, nothing happened. But that was the bottom. It was a slow, boring, dry period. And I will say right now, the best times to buy any asset are at times of max peak fear. Peak fear. Everybody's saying we're going lower. Everybody's saying it's all over. It was the same story last September, right? This is when I made the free ebook on how to build a winning crypto bull run portfolio. And that ended up being the bottom, and we pumped from there. Okay, so times of peak fear are traditionally the best times to buy assets. Sorry for my sketch here. My mouse is bugging out. Let me fix that. Times of peak fear are the best times to buy assets. All right. So if you have coins that you like and they're down 80% and you still have conviction in them, the fundamentals haven't changed. Usually times of peak fear are the best times to buy. They'll give you the best entries. They'll give you the lowest prices. Of course, you're kind of buying a bit blind, which is why you should never kind of lump sum, full stack everything you want to buy at one time. But with low prices, it's definitely not a bad idea to buy what you think will go higher. One example recently of, a coin hitting max fear, max capitulation, everybody saying it was all over, it's the fake Andy, yada, 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 is Andy on Blast. Now, look, this is a coin that I called all the way back in March. Okay, it was at a $2.74 million market cap. And long story short, it pumped from 2.74 up to 50 million. And then it went all the way back to 5 million over here. Okay. This capitulation wick was the best time to buy. Everybody's saying, is it done? Is it all over? What's happening with Andy on Blast? Well, I mean, now it basically touched the all-time high. It's pulling back now, but it just goes to show you just one example, right, of a coin. It explodes, it pulls back, it looks like it's all over, but that's the best time to buy, when it looks like it's done, when it looks like it's all over, when there's maximum fear. This is how I see things. You guys might see things differently, and that's perfectly fine. All I'm doing with you right now is sharing with you my experience and how I look at the market. And here's just one example, basically, of a play doing well, selling basically all the way back off to entry, down like 80%, 89%, 90% pullback, and then again pumping, 9x in less than 2 weeks. Okay, so that's the roller coaster of emotions that crypto will present. And if you're not ready for that roller coaster of emotions, I can't say what's right or wrong for you and your situation personally, but I just know that crypto is a roller coaster of emotions. And if you can't handle that, maybe this might not be for you, but you need to make that decision. I'm not here to tell you what is and what isn't for you when it comes to your own investing and your own money. But all I know is that this is a very crazy journey, and it's certainly not for everybody, right? You can easily, I've seen people lose their minds, especially when they sell at max fear, check their portfolio on their tracker app or whatever in 6 months and see it up massively. That's what causes most people to lose their minds in crypto, when they see what they could have had if they just held their patience, held their conviction, right? That's the biggest breaker of man that you will experience in the crypto market. Selling at peak fear only to see the assets you held explode in value, but you're left on the sideline because the fear got to you. I've done it. I've learned from it. I've also ridden things from peak fear to max euphoria, and it feels amazing. But anyways, market psychology is probably the most important aspect to your success. Whether you're an investor, whether you're a trader, whether you're just learning and you're brand new right now and you don't know if you're an investor or trader yet, psychology is the most important thing that will determine your success in this market. Anyways, let's get into a Bob Lucas tweet here. So Bob Lucas, longtime trader, longtime analyst, very kind of looked up to in the scene, in the community of financial markets. Anyways, on June 17th, around a week ago, he's basically saying that he doesn't expect much bullish action until July in the next cycle. So the lower 60K range is a good spot to be adding. And then just around 2 days ago, he said, now in the early timing band/window, this is normal ebb and flow action. Basically, Bob Lucas is saying that everything is kind of going according to plan for him. And you can see from his sketches, he's still bullish here and he's still expecting higher and break out to new all-time highs, just like myself, just like I've been saying for the past few months. Right? Some might call this the Wyckoff distribution. And here we have a tweet from Empero saying, we tried to get the pump at 69K. It was probably our only more significant mistake this year because we didn't want to suffer the endless boredom during the summer. Again, that's summertime lull. BTC reaccumulation range, right? This is talking some Wyckoff distribution. Now, I don't trade Wyckoff distribution, but I understand pattern recognition and charts. So, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist or a genius to decipher what this tweet is saying, right? You don't need to be a Wyckoff specialist to figure out what the heck these guys are saying. In case anybody out there is wondering, Connor, you do Wyckoff? I thought you said you didn't. No, I don't, but I can understand what they're saying. Anyways, T-Nut over here says, well, anyone remember Wyckoff during the last bull? It's time to pray. You know, basically, sideways range, you have a long, slow bleed off, and then a massive jump. And objectively speaking, you know, Bitcoin does appear to be putting in that kind of similar pattern. Long drawn out range here. Slow bleed out kind of to the bottom support. What you want to see now is basically, I wouldn't mind a capitulation wick. Maybe even test the daily 200 EMA down here, 58K. But if that does happen, we really need to see that daily candle close in a wick and close above this 60K support, or things could be looking pretty ugly. Yeah, but I wouldn't mind to see a capitulation wick and then essentially, they call it jumping the creek to new all-time highs. The chart certainly is setting up for this kind of outcome. All right, and Bob Lucas also drawing similar patterns. And I mean, it would be the same exact thing that happened both times already this cycle when the market exploded to the upside, right? Long story short, long drawn out, test the bottom support, and then you jump the creek, you go to new highs. Happened over here in January, February, and then it also happened over here in October. Long sideways drawn out, bam, pump out of nowhere. Everybody's happy again all of a sudden. The drop of a dime. Okay, so this is how I'm looking at the market. I'm still a bull, not worried at all. And I do understand that times of max fear, peak fear, are the best times to take positions. Now, look, obviously, I'm not perfect. And, you know, I did expect higher by this point in time. Okay, so prices are down. I'm down on a few of my buys that I've made over the past few weeks to months. But with where I see things going, that's what allows me to stay confident, because I've experienced a bull run before. I know how quickly things can change. I know that assets will go higher than you expect, but also they'll go lower than you expect, especially in a free market like crypto, where trading cannot be halted like the stock market, right? If GameStop is pumping, they can halt trading, meaning that it's not going to go as high as it should if it was a free market. Crypto is actually a free market in the sense where they can't halt the trading like that. So with that being said, things will go higher than you expect and lower than you expect. And that's just the game, folks. That's literally just how it is. Now things have gone lower than the majority of people in the market have expected. But guess what? The pendulum can swing the other way and we can go higher than most people expect. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm anticipating. And that's what I'm positioned for. Anyways, let me catch up with our live chat right now. Let's see. We got GSZW saying, hey, Connor, what's going on? Where are you from? From the U.S., lad. Let's see. Joey Lee says, nice to hear from you on a red day. What's up, Joey Lee? We got Brandon Willis. Good morning, fam. What's up, Brandon? Good to see you. Welcome to the live, and smash the like button. Yes, sir. Let's see. Berkey says, I love the CAS discounts. CAS is one of the best looking altcoins in the market at the moment. Like I said in the intro to the stream, it's one of my comfiest holds. And yeah, I think Caspa, like I've been saying, to $2 would be a major success, and that's still a ton of upside and a lot of value to still be extracted from Caspa in this cycle, from 14.7 cents to $2. Even $1 would be awesome, but I really do think it can hit $2. But yeah, Caspa, good prices right now, right around this 14.8 support resistance flip line. I like it, and I'm bullish on it. Let's see. We got our guy, Sharif, aka Crypto Middle East and Africa. He says, hi, legend. Finally managed to attend this live after missing 3 of them. Smash that like button. People, show some love. Appreciate your support. Thank you, Crypto Middle East and Africa. Raja says, hey, brother, signing in and saying, yo, what's going on, Raja, my man? Good to see you. Kayuza, get some hype in the chat, baby. Let's go. Smash that like button. Burke says, inverted head and shoulders being made. Talking about BTC. Yeah, I see it. I certainly see it. Are you still bullish on Thought AI back at some nice levels? So THT, I believe you're talking about. Yeah, THT. So I never bought this coin. I mentioned it once in a YouTube video about AI cryptos. But with that being said, yeah, I still think that it has good fundamentals, and I think it can do well this cycle. It's not something I owned or have ever owned. Again, I literally just mentioned it one time on a YouTube video. But yeah, it's back at some nice levels, as is every other AI coin in the market. Like literally every other AI coin is back at very juicy, interesting levels. Tau, based AI, Delicium, Render, right? They're all at good levels. So it's really kind of up to you to determine which AI coins you want to actually hold. And there's a lot of discussion amongst the community. Let's go look at our AI coin watch list, and everything is red and everything is down to very crucial supports. But there's a lot of discussion amongst the community about the dilution of altcoins. There's just too many coins and not enough money to go into each of them. So asset selection is super important, and it will determine how well you do this cycle. So it's very, very important to at least pick one of the good ones that are going to outperform again. Because if you only get one right, I mean, it doesn't matter. All you need is one. If you understand, portfolio position sizing and things of that nature, right? Risk management, position sizing. You can get 5 things wrong and then have one win, and all your losers would be covered and you're in massive profits. But anyways, yeah, Thought AI, I can't look at it on TradingView, but I mean, every single AI coin is back down to interesting levels now. So it's really kind of up to you to determine which one you want to hold for the cycle, or if you want to trade it in the shorter term, right? If you want to catch a bounce. But yeah, THT, it's not at the top of my list, but definitely a lot of bullish arguments for the coin. Let's see. Raul says, what about Ator, Miria, and Pups? So Ator is still a coin that I like. I think it's one of the better ones in terms of the deep in narrative. And let's just kind of clean this up a little bit. Ator is another perfect example of just max fear being the best time to buy. If you guys recall what happened over here when it got listed on Qcoin, and also the Tor network rejected their relay nodes, right? It topped out at $2.27. It went all the way down to 45 cents in less than a week. If you guys remember, during this time, there was a split camp on crypto Twitter. Half of the people were saying that Ator is a scam. It's dead. They rug pulled. It's all over. Then the other half or the camp that I was in was saying that I think that the project is going to recover. The fundamentals are still very strong. Long story short, it ended up recovering and going to new all-time highs. I'm saying this again to illustrate the point that the best times to buy are during times of peak maximum fear. There was thousands of people saying that ATOR was a scam and a rug pull when it went from $2.30 to 45 cents. I was saying I think it's going to recover. I was right that time, right? And I've been right a lot of other times of situations like this cycle, and in the past previous cycles too. But anyways, yeah, ATOR still bullish on this coin. Now look, where's the origin of the pump, right? I think that's the most important thing to kind of determine right now when it comes to these charts. Where's the origin? Where's the higher time frame demand level? Well, I see two right now on ATOR. And the main one that can't be overlooked, but it would be extremely brutal, would be the yearly open down here at 70 cents. Because objectively speaking, this is the origin of the entire run up. Everything originated down here from 70 cents, basically. So that's the origin. But you also had this key pullback over here down to $1. $1 also a psychological level. Okay, so long story short for ATOR, if we do see alts get smoked further, which at this point, it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible we see alts drop further. I can see ATOR going back down to around $1 level, and that's going to be a very important level to hold. But yeah, still bullish on ATOR. I think it's a good hold. And then Miria, gaming coin. So I've never held Miria. Some sirens going on outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Hopefully not, because it's kind of loud. Miria, where's the origin of the pump? Well, it's right here. And that's at 0.002, basically. Man, I don't know what's going on outside right now, but those sirens are loud. Okay, so Miria, origin of the pump is another 45% drop. And if you just look at this chart, it's kind of hanging on by a thread at this level here. Okay, so if it cannot hold this level, which is definitely a value area, I mean, it's a good level to bid for sure. If you have if you're an investor, right, and you think that gaming is going to have a wave 3 move higher in the market, which it didn't have back in February when AI coins pumped, gaming didn't do squat. Which is an argument, a bullish argument that gaming is going to have another kind of huge wave higher because it didn't have it in February this year. But anyways, yeah, Miria, if it doesn't hold this level, it's coming back down to 0.002, which is another 45% lower. And then let's see, pups. I think this is an ordinals meme. I'm not interested in ordinals personally, so I can't really speak on this one. If this is the correct chart, it's not looking great. It's really not looking good at all. So I don't know if I would hold something like that. But anyways, let's look at Ethereum. Because again, talking about market psychology, let me clean this up, or I'll just go to the different chart, which has the analysis that I want to show you, or I'll just make it right here. So on Ethereum, what was I just saying about the other coins, Miria and ATOR? We want to look for the origins of the moves higher. And Ethereum, when the ETF news on the approval happened, it broke this trend line and it pumped like 20% in a single day. The origin of the pump is down here at $3,050 to $3,100. This is the origin of the pump. And you also have the daily 200 EMA here at 3060. Okay, so I think Ethereum definitely short-term lower before higher. Okay, Ethereum short-term lower, meaning it comes down here to around the $3,000 level before it can make a recovery. Just looking at the higher time frame demand zones, the origin of the move, it's down here at $3,000 for Ethereum. You also have the confluence of the daily 200 EMA. This is obviously going to affect altcoins. If Ethereum does come down here to 3K, altcoins are going to drop another, I mean, who knows, 20, 30, 40%, even from current prices. It doesn't sound fun, In fact, it's not fun at all. But we have to be real with ourselves, and like this is the objective, unbiased analysis. Got to be real, folks. Let's see. Cubic, Tau. I mean, Tau right now at its yearly open in this higher time frame demand level. Cubic, we need to go look at the safe trade chart. I can pull that up because the Gate IO chart doesn't go back in time long enough to actually give us an accurate representation of what's going on. So we'll pull up safe trade here. And on the weekly, it's in weekly demand still. Okay, it's in a weekly demand zone at the origin of its pump. That's something I like. All right, I think this is a value zone for Cubic. And look, if it drops below 2K per billion, I think that it's kind of toast, and I'll be down horrendous, and I'll accept my defeat. But for now, I refuse to do that when price is in a higher time frame weekly demand zone. When conditions are at maximum fear, sentiment is the lowest it's been since the bear market. I just don't think it's a time to say that this is like a chart that's all over. Like, this looks fine as long as it can hold this weekly demand zone. It's the same exact thing on Space Mesh, SMH. Same exact kind of picture here on SMH in the sense that price is in this weekly demand level. All right, so both of these coins, they did really well from November to, say, March, November 2023, October, November to March of 2024. Both Cubic and SMH, I mean, they did exceptionally well. Now they've pulled back to the origin of their moves in weekly demand zones. I mean, I've seen it too many times where these weekly demand levels hold and it ends up being the bottom. So it's hard for me to be bearish on these assets here. They could come down to the bottom of their respective zones, which would be like another 50% drop, but they would still be in those weekly demand levels. Again, psychology here. A novice investor who doesn't understand supply and demand dynamics will look at this chart and just see the big drop off and not be able to identify the weekly structure, the weekly demand here, and they'll think it's over. They'll panic sell. And again, like I said earlier, they'll most likely check their portfolio in 6 to 12 months time and see that these assets went on to do multiple X's, and they would see how much money they could have made. And that will break a man. That will break a man for real. Like, when you see what you could have had if you just kind of held. And I'm not saying you should hold forever. You need to sell at some point. You need to realize your profits and get out of the market because it will all crash and burn down. But as an investor, what I've been preaching here in the channel, playing the cycles, understanding the market cycles in psychology, it will break you as a man if you end up selling the bottom. And we do get a crazy altcoin season pump from here, right? That will destroy your spirit. Be very hard to recover from, and you'll probably carry it with you for the rest of your life. So I'm willing to go out on a limb. I'm willing to risk it and see what happens here. That might not be you. If it's not you, well then, you know, we're two different individuals. You should do what you think is best for yourself. Anyways, let's see what's going on here. We got our guy Marvin Jacobs saying, F them haters. Bullish things about to go down. Wait for it 1 week or 2 months. It doesn't matter. Bitcoin can get down to 45K. It also doesn't matter. We will go much higher from here. Marvin, I mean, I love the conviction you have, and it seems like you have a positive outlook and a bullish stance. So I am in complete agreement with you. Through the Art 7 says, stacking till I can't stack no more. As long as you understand that, you know, everything can disappear, right? You could be wrong. Well, then keep on stacking, brother. but just understand that there are no guarantees or free lunch in the market. But yeah, I feel you, man. Let's see. We got Crypto LTP5 saying, how you feel about Rio for the rest of the cycle? What's the price prediction for you personally? So yeah, Rio is still a pretty high conviction hold of mine. And again, that's because of the real world asset narrative. And Rio is my play, my horse in that race, right? We have BlackRock saying they're going to tokenize everything. They've already made $100 million fund on Ethereum to tokenize assets. I think that's going to be a violent narrative at some point in time this cycle, such as AI earlier or something like gaming in 2021, like a violent narrative that explodes to the upside. I think real world assets is going to have that at some point. Now, Rio, what are my personal predictions? Haven't necessarily changed. Right, on the more conservative end, I would like to see $10, which would be less than a 10x from here. I'm not sure on the exact x's that would be. But yeah, I mean, a 10x would be a $690 million market cap, a 700 mil market cap. And that would be $12 for Rio. I think that's a very attainable price target for Rio. I personally think Rio will go to the billions in market cap, especially again with that real world asset narrative, with the potential for that to ignite. If it does actually ignite, Rio is a multi-billion-dollar market cap project. But anyways, yeah, low end price prediction, $10. Higher end, I can see 25, 30. Best optimal case would be like 30 to 50. And that might sound crazy, but that would be like a $3 to $5 billion market cap, which it would be maybe crack the top 100 at the peak of this cycle. We'll see. But yeah, Rio is an asset that I'm holding and will continue to hold. It's almost been like a full year since I made my kind of first initial buy on this thing back over here in October. Time is flying very quickly. But yeah, in terms of real world asset coins, Rio is number one on my list, and that has not changed. Let's see. Marvin Jacob says, love this channel, by the way. Appreciate you, Marvin. Thank you for your support. If you haven't smashed that like button, please smash that like button. I appreciate all of your support. Elvis says, hi, Connor. What are your thoughts on AI in general? Also, kind of look at Spectre AI. Came across it on the timeline yesterday and looks very promising. All right, Elvis, great question. You kind of opened up a can of worms here by asking me, what do I think about AI in general? I think that AI is the next industrial revolution, and it's already completely changing our world and humanity, and it's only going to get crazier from here on out. AI is huge. It's not going anywhere. It is a very, very powerful tool. And as the saying goes, I think it's from don't quote me on this. I think it's from Spider-Man, where they said, with great power comes great responsibility. So you have all these kind of dystopian AI things, like the robots that are going to take over the world, and the humans will become all the AI slaves and all this stuff. That's one end of the spectrum. But when I personally think about AI, I think about all the things I can use it for in my life to make it exponentially better, right? Have an AI maid, have an AI chef. I want a personal AI agent that I can say, hey, write me a video script that I can make a YouTube video on for this cryptocurrency and include X, Y, and Z points. And in 30 seconds, I want that AI agent to spit the script back out to me. It would increase my productivity 100-fold, 1,000-fold. All right. So again, AI is changing the world. There's one side of people saying it's horrible and it will only be used for evil. Now, I personally have a glass half full and optimistic outlook on AI because I understand how powerful it can be to actually kind of progress our lives further. So I'm very excited for it. Obviously, the world is effed up in many ways, and a lot of people will sit at home with their AI robot girlfriend and do absolutely nothing with their life. But that's them. Don't let that be you. I think AI is amazing if used correctly, and it's up to you as the user to figure out how to use it correctly. Now, in regards to your question about Spectre AI, yeah, this is one that I will make. Actually, no, sorry. Spectral is the one that I've been looking into, but Spectre AI is something I haven't really looked into, so I can't speak on it. 13 million market cap, which is quite low. Let me see this chart and see what's going on with it, how old it is, etc. Yeah, so it launched in November. I mean, it looks like it went like 500x from the bottom, but we'll take a measurement and see. Yeah, so it went correct. I was correct. 5,652%. That's like 500x. I don't know what this project does. I need to look into it further, but yeah, it does look like it wants to come to the origin in this move. And the origin would be here. Okay, I just see that this support is basically clinging on, hanging on by a thread. And with the current state of the market, especially the fact that this is a 13 million market cap coin with a 780K liquidity, it'll take like a few baby sells to push it down here to 50 cents. So that's how I'm seeing Spectre AI. Anyways, good question, Elvis. Great question. Let's see. Crypto LTP5 says, also, I've seen a lot of people talk about the head and shoulders. Doesn't the continuation out of the second shoulder come with the trend, aka bearish? So I think you're referring to Bitcoin here. So let me see. Doesn't the continuation out of the second shoulder continue with the trend? So, I mean, a head and shoulders is obviously like shoulder, head, shoulder, and that's bearish. An inverse head and shoulders is the opposite, where you have the left shoulder, the head, right shoulder, and then you basically pump out of it higher. Okay, so yeah, a head and shoulders is bearish, and inverse head and shoulders is bullish. Now, I personally haven't really been looking at Bitcoin as an inverted head and shoulders at all. There might be some arguments saying that, you know, this is, if you go to the weekly, right, this is like a double top or a triple top. Like I said in the intro, there's arguments for both sides, the bull side and the bear side. But I went over kind of several tweets kind of explaining why I'm still bullish right now. You can rewind that if you want to hear that again. If I don't know if you were in attendance. But yeah, I haven't really been looking at Bitcoin as a head and shoulders or an inverse head and shoulders. I'm just looking at what I call the chop zone and just this massive range, right? And the fact that we're still holding the range lows, right? There's many different ways to skin the cat, as the saying goes. Many different ways to look at the market, and I'm just looking at this as a general range. And Raphael says, bonjour. What's going on, my man, Raphael? Have I ever looked into ENQAI? Yes, I have. I have looked into ENQAI. And let me see what it's doing. Okay, all the way back down to its bottom. I mean, you can't single out this project because all the AI coins, especially the on-chain ones, look the same. But yeah, like this is basically bottomed out now. It can go back down to like 8-9 million from here, but I think it has decent fundamentals and can make a comeback. A lot of competition in the AI niche. I personally don't hold this one. But yeah, it could do well. Now, anyways, let's talk about some other things going on. So we got the Kendu e-news. There's actually two Kendus now. There's a Kendu on Ethereum, which is the OG Kendu. And let's just take a look here. So all the way back in March, on March 6th, as you can see here in my screen, was the day that I got into Kendu on ETH, and the market cap was a 3.87 mil market cap back then. Anyways, here we are now. What is it? June 24th. What is that? 4 months later. It went up from like 4 mil to at its high as a 300 mil. market cap 270. So massive win here. I have realized a healthy amount of profits, being that I invested into this thing when it was like 25x lower in price. Obviously, you should take profits after a move like that, even if you think it will go to multiple billions. Again, this is where experience definitely kind of comes into play. Sure, I can hope and pray that it goes to billions and hold my entire bag, but I've said it before, right? Like, I've seen meme coins that I bought, put a few $1,000 in, goes up to over 100,000, crashes and burns back down where I have like nothing left. So after those experiences that I had in 2023 with memes, I always make sure to basically pay myself on the way up, because I like that experience of seeing like an investment go from a few grand to over 100K back down. Like, it's like I said earlier, it will break a man. But fortunately for me, I have a resilient human spirit and I can't be stopped. So I keep on getting back on the horse, and that's why I'm able to catch another 25x win on Kendu, 30x win. But yeah, we'll see what happens with this one. We are at a very critical support here. And yeah, I mean, I took profits in this overall range, still holding a bag. I'm still here to support the project. But again, I think it's wise to pay yourselves on the way up, especially after a huge multiple, right? 20x plus on a meme. I mean, I think you're kind of insane if you don't realize any profits. But yeah, we'll see what happens if we hold the support at 150 million. If we don't, I mean, it's really, there's zero support until the origin of the pump down here at like 60 million. So I mean, be prepared for that. But like I said, I'm still holding a bag. I'm still here to support this project and see what happens with it. Now, there's another Kendu on base. There's a derivative of it. And Kendu on base right now is at a 4.9, basically a $5 million market cap. Now, I like this one because I've just seen how these derivatives perform exceptionally well. One example would be the Andy on base, right? I've been on Andy on blast. Andy on blast has always been my Andy. But the Andy on base launched, and I was like, this thing's stupid. It's a scam. There's no way it's going to do well. Well, guess what? Lo and behold, it went from like 1 million market cap to 45 million, and it's still at 15, which is decent, even though it's kind of retraced heavily. Right. So this is just one example of a derivative. I mean, there was also the Andy on ETH, which again, I ignored. I was like, this isn't the real Andy. The real Andy is on blast. I'm not buying the Andy on ETH. Well, sometimes it's better to left curve things and just kind of go with it. Because I mean, this thing went from a 20, 30, 40 mil market cap up to 300 million. Right. So this is just one example of derivatives. Obviously, there was like Pepe 2.0 last year when Pepe was first launched, and it did crazy multiples. It crashed and burned horribly and never had any lasting success. But still, it was a really good pump if you caught it early. I didn't. Anyways, derivatives. Yeah, derivatives work. Derivatives are proven to pump. So I saw this Kendu derivative go live, and I do own a bag of this one too. I mean, with Kendu's success, I think that this one can also have a lot of success. And even just looking at all the other derivative plays as well, that's kind of my thesis for the coin on this one. And we'll see if it does play out. It's just kind of in an oscillating range currently. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Kendu on base. I know the Kendu on ETH, they're not happy at all about like this one, but I have a neutral stance. I want to see both of them do well. And I mean, I'm an investor. I'm a market speculator. Emotions aside, I'm here to make gains and try and make as many good decisions as possible and as few bad decisions as possible. And I've made bad decisions in the past where I've ignored derivatives and I've seen them go up 10x, 20x from where I could have theoretically bought in hindsight. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this one. Talking about other memes, I mean, Ski Mask Dog getting slaughtered here. Jumped the gun on this one. Still holding this bottom range. Let's see, RNT hasn't done anything. I never bought this one. Whoops. I want to see how Tate's other coin is doing. Never bought this one either, but it looks like it's doing well. It's doing all right. Bit of a recovery bounce happening right now. Let's see, G Trump 1.2 currently in this green box. Still at the lower demand level. Really want to see that hold. Ponky's in an interesting spot. This is my outlined basically buy zone for Ponky, right? I have this 25-cent level marked. And again, I don't think that this cycle's over. I think Ponky, when it comes to Solana memes, is one of the best out there. So yeah, this is a good level to start bidding Ponky again. This is what basically I've been waiting a few weeks to see price come back into this green box and, you know, as close to 25 cents as possible. Because again, 25 cents is the origin of that pump. Okay, this is the origin of the move. That's the key demand level. You want to be a buyer at basically 25 cents, and it's very close to it. I don't think it's a bad time to start nibbling into something like this. Let's see, based AI at $4. Okay, it's in this green or this purple buy box. Apologies. Let's see, what is Brett doing in terms of an overall outlook at 1.3? Okay, just kind of in consolidation, not really doing anything. So, yeah, I mean, some memes are pumping. Andy on Blast really kind of giving me those feelings of euphoria and right, all the winning. Pretend you're in a casino and you win, right? Those emotions you feel. Andy on Blast giving that to us currently, as well as Ken do on ETH. But basically everything else just getting slaughtered. Anyways, sorry to go on a tangent. Let me catch up with the chat. Let's see. Matt Wilcox says, thoughts on Bitcoin potential death cross 50, 100 EMA. Do you think we should be in recovery before this takes place? Many alts have already crossed over. Last cross before pump on Bitcoin was March 2020. So I assume you're talking about the daily time frame. So we'll put on the EMA 50 as well as the EMA 200 or 100 you asked. And we'll make this blue. EMA 100, EMA 50. Talking about the weekly. Nah. I mean, these moving averages are quite far. Even still, right? The 100 is at 64. The 50 is at 66. So we could see this turquoise line drop in for the depth cross. But could happen. Could happen. These crosses are always a lagging indicator, meaning they happen, you know, well after the trend actually changes. But yeah, I'm personally going with the bullish outlook. Share with, you know, many other people that have been talking about it. Whether you're looking at the Wyckoff, whether you're like myself and just looking at this overall range and expecting the, you know, the range low to bounce and we can push through higher. However you want to look at it and whatever words you want to use to describe the analysis, I'm bullish. So yeah, I'm not paying too much attention to the death cross. But I'll watch it. Again, it's a lagging indicator, right? So the trend would already have shifted bearish. Price would have broken below 60K by the time the death cross actually happens. You basically have to anticipate it in the future. But yeah, you are correct in the sense that altcoins have all kind of broken their their bullish market structure. It's really not a good look at all for altcoins, and it's just a major reset. And it is somewhat worrisome. It is somewhat worrisome, but it's every single alt. All right, even something like a lithium ALPH. I remember the other week when a lithium put in this pump from $1.50 up to $2.20 again. I saw on Twitter all these guys saying, I sold all my cubic for ALPH and now it pumped, and I'm so happy I did that move. I'm a genius. I mean, it's back making lower lows. There's no geniuses there's geniuses for sure. There's savants, there's people that have exceptional results, and there's people that have unquestionable foresight where you're just like think they have a crystal ball. But generally speaking, most people are just talking shit on Twitter and they really have no business saying anything. Which is why I ignore most of them and I just stick to my own analysis and come to my own decisions. I've been doing this too long to borrow somebody else's conviction and, rely on these other people. Most people just really don't have much good to say or anything valuable. They talk a lot though. Anyways, that's just one example of the market humbling people. I saw so many people say, I sold my cubic for ALPH and now it pumped. I mean, look, you looked good for a second, but the market will always be right. And I think that cubic is still a good hold from here. Anyways, not to go on a tangent. Let's see. Doku Shin says everything is going up by Friday. I think we're short-term bearish before going up. If we do see, say, ETH drop down this week to 3K, if we see Bitcoin put in a capitulation wick below 60K and reclaim it midweek, then yeah, I can see things starting to recover by Friday. We'll see how the week shapes up, but yeah, I'm short-term bearish right now, expecting new lows, new local lows, I should say, like not fresh lows for the majors here, Bitcoin, ETH. I mean, Solana is definitely considerably weaker than these. Very critical level for Solana. Raul says, thank you, Connor. No worries, Raul. No worries. Cubic, we've already talked about Cubic, guys. It's in a weekly demand zone, and I kind of shared everything that I had to say about it. So if you didn't catch that, definitely go ahead and rewind. But yeah, I mean, weekly demand level, origin of the pump. Like if it has a weekly close below this, then yeah, there's obviously huge reasons to be concerned. But as of right now, typically these weekly demand levels do hold up well. So if I'm wrong and the cycle is over, I'm willing to go out and ride until glory, ride till Valhalla, to the death in battle. We'll see how we go. Let's see. We got a tweet over here by the Trading Axe, which is a bit of a comedy account on Twitter, but share some good takes as well. So this was a conversation I thought was pretty interesting. I want to go ahead and share it with you guys. So let's see. This guy over here, 0x June, says, anyone else joined during mid-late 2021 and feel like crypto Twitter is the exact same vibes now before we topped? And this guy says, nowhere, says, not really. Vibes were a lot better in mid to late 2021, and more people were regularly making lots of money on dumb plays. I still think we're early and going to make some more money soon. And let's see. Big Dick Bull said, late 2021 people were sending 8 figures to buy the Constitution NFT. Basically, crazy things were happening. And this guy, Davis, says, the most comparable where we are right now is to late 2020. Everything was down bad except Bitcoin, and people were disillusioned. DeFi had collapsed after DeFi summer, wiping out tons of paper gains before its epic 2021 run. Now, this is what I really want to talk to you guys about. And this goes back to the main topic of today's live stream, being market psychology. And look, Trading Axe mainly just shit posting, but he has some good things to say that are funny as well. And let's go ahead and read this. He says, we literally haven't even experienced euphoria. It's almost like all the bear tards on crypto Twitter truly never experienced what real euphoria is because they're unprofitable traders and have been used to mediocrity all their life. Euphoria isn't just personal financial gain, but a general state of affairs surrounding crypto and collectively everyone feeling like a genius. You remember when Mark Zuckerberg's sister made that stupid NFT song about equality? Like, that's euphoria. We haven't seen any of that. Anyways, how many geniuses, or anyway, you feel invincible, you feel like you can't lose, you feel like $10 million is nothing. How many geniuses have you seen this cycle so far? Have we had sustained easy mode other than 2023 chopping up that 90% of people missed due to their bear market PTSD? There is a level of risk you must take to feel euphoric as a trader or investor. I've touched on this a lot this stream. You were sized fully and comfortably, no leverage, because of unwavering conviction, and ride the trend maximally before actual market-wide exhaustion. You see results that go above and beyond your wildest expectations. Do people think Bitcoin hitting the same all-time high as 2021 is that? Do people think ETH not even breaking previous all-time highs is that? To every doomer reading this, man the fuck up, Emilio. Well said. Very well said. Especially the points here talking about, like, if you're fully sized and comfortable without leverage because of unwavering conviction, and like that's what I've been sharing here on the channel. That's what I've been sharing here in Cubic, right? I have conviction in the coin. I'm willing to sit in spot and see what happens, and I will accept the outcome, whether I am right or wrong. Obviously, I would hope to be right and, go make millions of dollars and, live life happily ever after from my good Cubic investment. But I understand I could be wrong as well, and I could lose everything. That's the game I play. And yeah, we're nowhere close to euphoria in the market. We're nowhere close to euphoria in the market, which is a huge reason of, again, I entered into euphoria in 2017. Obviously, the cycles are different now and the market has changed, and there's so many more alts on the market compared to 2017. But, I experienced that then. I experienced it in 2021. And I just know we haven't come close to that yet this cycle, which is a huge reason of why I still hold my bullish outcome. And then one more tweet for you by Dime saying it took 150 days in 2020 for up only to start after the halving. Patience pays. So 150 days would be around September, October of 2024 this year. Basically saying that we could just shop around for all summer long and then go up only after that. It doesn't matter how long it takes. I think it's coming. Let's see. What else is going on here? Would you buy more Cubic? I mean, I'm pretty stacked up on that coin. I have a lot of it. So personally, I don't need to. You can do whatever you like, though. Let's see. Tony Pacino says, hello, Connor. Can you analyze Loki? It's a community takeover on Solana. It's really promising and went from 10K to 250K. And today they're deploying their marketing wallet. I can look at it. Loki the cat. I mean, it's 3 days old. I guess the community took over here on the first day or something. I mean, look, the chart looks really good in the sense that it was fair that anybody could have bought it at 10K market cap. Obviously, I'm a bit weary of these types of Solana memes. I haven't personally had a ton of success with Solana memes like this because there's people holding multiple percents of the supply that bought it down here at a 10, 20K market cap. And, typically they'll dump it all in one go and it'll look like a rug pull. So I'm not interested in it, but I wish everybody the best of luck in this coin. Let's see, Loki the cat. It's not like an original meme or anything. We'll see if any kind of community can develop around it. But yeah, I mean, the chart looks good in the sense that it's in a healthy uptrend compared to Solana, which is in a healthy downtrend. And all these coins, like these are all clear downtrends. You look at something like Loki, it's obviously in a healthy uptrend. Let's see. Thoughts on ASI? Would you buy ASI or one of the merger tokens? I would buy the new token ASI if I was in like FET, Ocean, AGIX. I would go for the new shiny token, yeah. Any thoughts on Redo Resistance Dog? It's been doing well. It's on over here on the watch list. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is, Redo. Yeah, I think that Redo can perform exceptionally well. I do know that it's a main crash call, which, that alone is a very bullish thing, being that this market, behaves like that. And Crash is one of the... Most people don't understand that, Cassius Clay is Muhammad Ali, and Crashius Clay is where he gets that from. And I've been following Crash for a long time, and I've seen Crash, say that he's the greatest. He's the greatest predictor, the greatest trader, just like Muhammad Ali said he's the greatest of all time, the best boxer of all time, right? So Crash has that unwavering belief in himself, which other people feed off and love, right? If Crash didn't believe in himself the way he did, nobody else would. So anyways, redo being that it's a main crash call, I mean, that's a very positive thing going for it. And yeah, I can see it hitting $1 billion market cap, which would be like a 12x from here, give or take. Kazuya says, not sure if you check BST. They actually started tokenized properties around the world. I think it's undervalued. So there's a lot of niche real world asset coins that are tokenizing things. Let's see, Block Square, 20 mil market cap. It's on MEXC and Gate. I haven't necessarily looked into this coin, but I do know there's a lot of other RWA coins that are, tokenizing properties and the likes. So let's see, this chart has retraced to the origin of the pump. So, I mean, if I was interested in this coin, like this is an area of interest at the origin of this last pump. Also the previous resistance over here in December. But it could, if things continue to be bearish, it could drop another 35% down to 25 cents. Let's see. Hey, Connor, how do you get on with ZK and Zero airdrops? I got both of them. Let's see. Let's see. Here's my Zero wallets. It wasn't that great. I was pretty kind of disappointed, but this was like $2,000 still. 300, 235, and 47. Not great, but it's $2,000. I can't complain about that, right? Like, and then let's see. I shared my ZK ones as well. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. And to be honest with you guys, I stopped farming these like well over a year ago. So, I mean, I say I'm disappointed, but I'm pretty happy about that. Like, I got like $6,000 for free from both of them. Anyway, ZKs think I got a bit more tokens. I walked away with like 5,500 to $6,000. It wasn't great. I stopped farming them like a year ago. So, whatever. But yeah, I did all right. A lot of people in the community did really well. I've made thousands from it. And, talking about airdrops, right? Like if you go type in ZK Sync on my channel, I mean, I made the first ZK Sync video. It was December of 2021. Like that was 2.5 years ago. Same thing with Layer Zero. I made those videos well over a year ago. So, a lot of people see somebody like myself, pretty mediocre airdrop results, like $5-6,000 on these two. But they're like, they would do anything to get a $5,000 airdrop, right? So it's all about perspective. And it's, I think to myself, what were you doing 2 years ago when I was making the tutorials? What were you doing in your life? Think about it. If you didn't get these airdrops, what the heck were you doing? I don't know, working your job, partying, not paying attention to crypto. And then you come and join and you see all these people, get these free airdrops, thousands of dollars. And you're like jealous and envious. Like, no, you shouldn't be. Like, you just didn't put in the work when the opportunity was there. And that's life. And yeah, a lot of people just have a hard time grasping the fact that they don't have the results that they want because they didn't do the work that was necessary to get it. But anyways, yeah, all these airdrops, ZK Sync, Starknet, Layer Zero, all the teams said they wouldn't do an airdrop. And they did do an airdrop. I covered all of them on YouTube well ahead of time. And now, like, the only kind of big ones left are like Base and Scroll Linea, I guess. So again, those teams are saying they're not going to do an airdrop. I've been right about every single other one. So why would I change my stance? If it's not broke, don't fix it. So that's why I'm still farming Base on Farmbase. I'm still farming Scroll and Linea on Farmbase. And we'll see if we get it or not. But I've been right about every single other one when they said they wouldn't do it. So I'm not changing my stance. I'm just doing what I've always done, which has gotten me, at least a few $1,000 with every single airdrop that's happened in the past like 2 years. The main ones, at least, that I talk about on the channel. Anyways, lads, let's see what else is going on. Chris NG says, hi, Connor. Do you think there will be fast movements on G Trump this week's upcoming presidential debate? Certainly possible. Certainly possible. All these political finance coins have been not doing anything. G Trump, like I said, in this bottom demand area, strong support holding so far. We want to see that continue to hold. How are these other ones doing? Okay, this is sideways range bound. I just want to take a look at the overall political finance sector. I think Bowden's down horrendous, right? Wow. This is at 9.5 cents. I never bought this meme Bowden. I was thinking about it at like 25 cents, and I'm glad I didn't. But yeah, like this is another really good example, guys, of why it's smart to take profits on your memes. Because I remember back over here in April when this thing was the talk of the town, everybody's saying Bowden, it's the best meme, it's going to billions. And here we are, and it's down 90% plus. So look, these meme coins can go up and they can go down more than you could imagine. There's so many examples of a chart like Bowden playing out where somebody's a genius one day and then the next day everybody turns on them because it goes all the way back down. You need to pay yourself on meme coins is the point I'm making here, right? You can be like Crash and put 13K into the coin and see it go up to millions, but unless you are the person who represents that coin, it's usually not going to work out, right? Unless you control all the supply. Anyways, yeah, you need to take profits on meme coins, guys, or else this can happen. But yeah, back to the question, Chris. I certainly think that the presidential election coming up in November will ignite a political finance meme coin pump. And it would be very beneficial if that was paired with bullish market conditions in crypto overall, where we see liquidity flow. I think that would bode very well for something like G Trump and, all the political finance coins. Matt says, got bent over by this market, down 60% already, and we're due for more. Institutions will kill altcoins. Yeah, it's definitely been a tough ride so far. Since March of this year, it's been down only. Peter says, good day, Connor. What's going on, Peter? Is Flux finished? I don't know. I haven't checked Flux in a year, maybe, but let's see. I don't know if it's finished. I know a lot of people say this is a great D-pin coin. First thing I notice, yearly open. I mean, it's made its way back down to the yearly open and it's currently below it. And it's also kind of at the origin of a move. So I wouldn't say that Flux is finished. I don't hold this coin, never have, don't plan on it, never will. But it's down 66 to 68% from the all-time high. Is that the all-time high? No, it's not. From the high of this year. This is actually better than many other altcoins, so I don't think it's finished. But yeah, it's certainly, let's go to the weekly. What's going on this weekly? It's in a weekly area of interest right now. I wouldn't say it's finished, but not a great performance, and it's not something I personally have an interest in holding. Any thoughts on CCC? Not really. I mean, I was hoping for a strong recovery, and it's at a $500,000 market cap. It's now like lower than I even bought it now. So yeah, no bueno. Nothing really to say about this other than it's a disappointment. Have I seen charts like this recover? I have. Can this recover? It's possible, but the longer it looks like this, the less and less likely it appears. So yeah, I mean, I just know that Andy, there's so many examples where something seems dead and it gets reignited, but it depends on what the whales want to do. It seems like the whales wanted to pump Andy back up, and they did, right? So, this was a 90% drop into a 9x pump in 2 weeks. It can happen with these other memes like CCC, but something needs to give. It needs a bullish catalyst for that to play out, and we don't seem to have that currently. So we'll see if that can change. Let's see. We got Crypto Goals saying, can do Inu on base will go to 500 mil this bull run minimum. Certainly possible. I like the conviction, Crypto Goals. I certainly like the conviction. And listen, if can do Inu on ETH, where's the one I'm looking for? This is on ETH. If can do Inu on ETH right now at 164 mil goes to multiple billions, well, then I think the derivative can certainly go to a $500 million market cap. I do know, like, this whole can do Inu, they say the helmets stay on without the fees, right? That's their tagline, where can do on ETH is the helmets stay on. The ETH fees are going to be like stupidly high at some point in time. Like, we're talking $500 to $1,000 for a Uniswap transaction, for a simple swap. So that is a huge thing going for Kendu on base here. So yeah, I mean, I can certainly see something like that playing out. And when ETH fees spike, I think that the base network overall is going to be huge. And the airdrop kind of speculation and hype as well. That's why I think Andy on Blast is pumping, because of that airdrop speculation and hype coming up. Again, another airdrop that I've told all you guys well about in advance, made a video guide. Should be another free few $1,000s for anybody that just followed along and wanted to put in the work. Again, the reason you don't have the results you want is because you failed to do the results, or failed to do the work to get the results that you want when the opportunity was ripe. In the past few months, right, Andy on Blast, or not Andy on Blast, but the Blast airdrop, I mean, it's just been farming automatically, passively, and it should just result in thousands of dollars showing up in my wallet. Anybody could do this stuff. But anyways, yeah, back to Kendu on base. I'm bullish on it. I think he can do well. I want to see both of them do well. Peter Dell, any thoughts on Matra, OM, and Arrow? I think Mantra DAO is old, and this is its second market cycle. I wouldn't touch that thing with a 10-foot pole. I know it really underperformed last cycle as well. Pre-sale investors did good. Everybody else just got sold on the whole time in 2021. Arrow, I mean, I don't know. This isn't necessarily my cup of tea. And it could drop another like 40-50% to this lower level at like 40 cents. So those are two coins I'm not personally too interested in. And they've already done exceptionally well. So, or Arrow has at least. So yeah, I'm not too interested in that. Let's see. Crypto Goals says, keep up the great work, man. Smash the likes. Appreciate you, Crypto Goals, my man. Smash that like button, guys. Let's go. Tony Pacino says, thanks, G. No problem, my man. Benji, strong base meme coin. Yeah, I've seen this one. Benji on base, currently down 19% on the day, but, you know, 52 mil market cap, had a really strong run up from like 10 mil up to 100 mil, and now back down to 50 mil. So yeah, this chart, I mean, this is another example, right? Like, this thing looked dead in the water down here, and then bang, shoots up 10x. So that's why I leave my dust in meme coins, because I know this stuff can happen, and it's happened to me before. Many such cases, right? So like, that's why I just, even Andy on Blast, right? It would have been super easy to sell the bottom on that and say it was done, but bang, goes up 9x in like 2 weeks. So yeah, this meme coin game is a roller coaster of emotions, guys. This is just another example of something that looks dead pumping to Valhalla out of nowhere. So yeah, anything can happen in the meme coin casino. Brandon says, let's go. Smash the like button. Let's go, lads. Smash that like button. And Thought Heart 7 says, bull run is over when XRP rockets, always goes last. I agree with you. I do agree with that. That usually does mark the top. Anyways, guys, we had a productive live stream today. I hope you did enjoy it. If you were tuning in or you're watching the replay in the future, Hope you got something out of this one. And, we talked a lot about market psychology. We looked at a lot of charts, discussed the meme coin market currently, and a lot of information was shared. And I hope you guys did learn something, get something out of it, and just kind of, help you kind of cope with this bearish time period right now. I'm still a bull. I still think we go higher. I'm willing to put it all out on the line. I'm willing to be wrong and, sacrifice my entire reputation and everything, saying that I'm a bull now and I'm heavily invested in a ton of these altcoins and I'm prepared to get slaughtered if they go down. I'm prepared to lose everything, basically. No guts, no glory. You got to risk it to get the biscuit. Such is life. And obviously, risk management is important. You shouldn't be like all in with every cent you have. You should be investing what you are willing to lose, what you can afford to lose. But yeah, that's the game, guys. No risk, no reward. The best times to buy are at times of peak fear, maximum fear. And I just don't think we've topped out this cycle. I don't think that Bitcoin going to 73K is the top for it. I don't think ETH going to like 4,000 is the top for it. So that's my stance on the market. That's how I'm looking at things. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Smash that like button if you did enjoy it. I'll see you all very soon. It's time to ramp up the content again. Market's a bit slow, but I'm here in this new studio and it's time to work, lads. So I appreciate your support. Thank you for your patience over the past few weeks as I did move to a brand new city. Obviously, I'm in a new place. I had to build this whole studio and just getting adjusted and things. So I know things have been slow here, but it's a good time to be slow because nothing has happened in the market whatsoever. But I do appreciate your patience. I appreciate you sticking with me. I appreciate you tuning in today. I'll see you all very soon. My name is Connor from Crypto Empire. And let's go ahead and play this tune as we wrap up the stream. Have a good one, everyone. See you next time.